said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic. Cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
No, we deserve a lot of praise, you know. Really. We dared. We dared.
We do.
We dared.
Praise us.
Yeah, that's what it is. We dared. We didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I mean, we still don't have a clue, to be fair. But we know a little bit more than we did.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody like competent came in, they could tell us like at least like 10 things that I do wrong with every edit that we put out.
Maybe. I mean, they could go through all of us, I'm sure.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
one,
They
don't
could.
chew.
They'll probably come in and be like, "Whoa, why are you doing this like that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? I think that's kind of the beauty of what we're doing. Like, we have never been shown what to do. All we are, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We're three people that have sat and watched podcasts and thought, I like them. I thought, I fancy some of that.
We can do that.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Pretty much like, yeah.
Pretty much, basically.
So funny. Like you said, the umbrellas that we had, the genius idea of getting an arched roof in a podcast studio.
I know.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Figuring out after multiple complaints, don't eat when on camera.
Yeah.
Figured that one out.
Yeah. Although I do miss the tray of jellies.
They are still out there, but they're a few months old now.
All right, we'll give them a miss.
Yeah. No, a lot of people said we shouldn't chew, to be fair.
I know. But, you know,
Yeah.
It's a learning curve.
just depriving
is.
us of some sugary goodness.
And you know
That's all
what?
it is.
Like, obviously, we have plans. We've announced this to our international audience that we have plans to move studios.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad, you know.
Yeah.
I did something this morning on the drive-in,
What did you do?
mate. You know, there's that song. It's from Suicide Squad. It's like, I saw you standing in the rain. You know that song?
I know that song.
Action Bronson's doing the rap, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a bit, and I was listening to this on the drive-in, right? And there's a bit where part of the rap is like, new titties for the mistress, new titties for everyone, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was like blasting out. And then I just look out my mirror to the right, and there's a row of nursery kids. Just waiting across the road. And I just look to the right and I'm just like, oh, turn that fucking thing down.
Just gently reach your eyes forward.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Were you probably singing along as well, like?
It was loud, like.
Titties for Christmas.
I just can't help but feel like my car is as soundproof as I'd like it to be in that moment.
Class.
It's funny that, innit? We've talked about that
Gonna
before.
go home and speak to his dad and just be like, what's titties?
And do we get them for Christmas? Whoops. What was that on site here?
yeah, literally in the car park.
Yeah, it's trippy having a nursery just around the corner, isn't it? I remember I've been told off for, when I used to smoke, just to be smoking outside. Oh, excuse me, you can't smoke here.
Yeah.
You got to be careful what you do around here. And
do.
The next place, we won't have as many limitations.
Or so we think.
Oh, so we think.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen, I guess.
Yeah, it
doesn't
remains to be seen. I mean, we've started off on a bad foot with the owners already. You know, we've pretty much had an argument with them about this thing that they've set out. So, not a good start. But anyway.
No.
But I was thinking, like, I had a bit of a moment. Mine was more of a spiritual moment, to be honest. You know, on the drive up today. Obviously, this is the first day of like a sunny day. You know, just as you come round and you drive over the motorway bridge just outside of here.
Oh, it's lovely.
You get that view, don't you? Like big panoramic view across. Where are we? Are we not in the Yorkshire Moors, are we?
In Catterick.
This is like county. Is this North Yorkshire?
Yeah, effectively. Yeah, you're pretty much verging into North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So that lovely view across North Yorkshire, and what a lovely place this has been. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What a lovely place.
It is actually a really nice drive here. I'm gonna lie, I'm
like,
gonna miss it.
You do realise, like, we are like downgrading. That's what we're doing. Like, in essence.
we are downgrading, but it's, you know, it won't be by the time we're finished with it.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, there's going to be a lot to do in that place. It's going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more tight-knit, but please believe, guys, we're going to be putting a lot of work into this next studio, and we're going to make it a little bit more exciting, I think, than this one. That's for sure, right, Dan?
Yeah. No, we're going to... we're certainly not going to have the...
We got plans.
Yeah, we're not going to have the lines.
Just wood walls and lines that
Yeah.
keep your eyes out if you stare at them too much.
Again, learning curves, right?
Yeah.
Learning curves.
Zero blurred lines.
Well, we thought this was going to soundproof us, and then got told immediately, like the day after we installed them, Oh no, that's not going to work.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Literally has no effect on sound.
No, not at all.
None. Yeah.
Not a very minimal effect. It does, but it's not as much as we thought it was going to do for the
With
price that they cost.
Yeah, and with the roof, it's
Yeah.
it's
Big arch roof. Yeah.
Fuckeries left, right, and centre.
fuckeries left, right, and centre. Good fun
Mistakes
though.
were made.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Stop. Hold up. Before we carry on, just a quick word from our sponsor. Do you have a business? Thinking about starting one? Dash, the bespoke web design and branding experts. When you have a business that needs a professional online presence, when your current website is starting to look a little outdated and tired, when you have an idea and want to see it brought to life online, that's where Dash can help. Dash create bespoke websites built around your business and its requirements, from exceptional e-commerce stores to sell your products online, to beautiful brochures showcasing who you are and what you do. The team at Dash will become an extension of your business. You'll be assigned a dedicated team who will help guide and advise from the initial design brief all the way to the website launch. Not only that, Dash provide full aftercare to carry out any changes, alterations or updates quickly and efficiently. It's like having your very own personal web development team 365 days a year. Dash understands that in today's world, the right online image, exposure and representation is the key to success. Book in a free, no obligation consultation with one of their experts today to see how Dash can make your online vision an online reality. Just visit www.dashmedia.co.uk or search Dash Media on Google to find out more. Dash, the bespoke website and branding experts.
So, we are rolling, welcome to people like us and all that good stuff. Has anyone had outs going on this week?
My roof fell off and my roof's back on again. That was fun. I bought a house 3 months later. My roof falls off because it's too windy.
Too windy. Well, just going to point fingers, new builds and that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. The guys who came and did the roof then ended up going and doing like the next door neighbour, then come and seen them, and then they did their roof as well. So it's like literally the whole street's just got shit roofs.
It was carnage, wasn't it? Trees down left, right and centre.
Yeah,
What
man.
on earth was that?
That was my ring.
Like your ring?
Yeah,
Ring fell out.
yeah, my ring fell off.
What's it like in, books in bus stop land?
In the world of Southpaw.
Yeah.
In the world of
Stop
Southpaw.
land. Oh, he's got the library of books. What happens in the wind with them? Do they just like driving along and then there's just pages everywhere?
What, in the wind?
Yeah.
No. There's like within the bus stop, there's a sheltered covered bit. That's
I was thinking
yeah.
like exposed shelf kind of
No,
thing. I
no,
suppose
no.
that-
It's like a
of
little
course that makes sense, yeah.
No, of course.
little castle.
It's not.
Yeah.
There's not like a door to open it, but they're all on a sort of shelf, and they all look quite nice. There's no moving bookshelves. Anyway, within the world of Southpaw, I bought some new running shoes because I'm doing 2 half marathons this year.
Oofed.
That's the exciting thing for me in my world right now.
How long is a half marathon?
21 kilometres.
Can you imagine that, Johnny? 20.
Furthest I've ever done is 10. That's
Yeah, I did
that
it
was
10.
more than enough that I ever want to run, I think. I did it. And
So
then
impressed that you guys can run that far. Like,
Oh no,
Well-
I could run that far.
good.
At
No,
that
I
time.
think,
And to be
like-
fair, no, not even then, because it was like it weren't glamorous. You know what I mean? You picture somebody who runs the entire way, no stopping. No, I'm like stopping at a tree, wheezing for a good 3 minutes.
Yeah.
All people are passing us, and then I start going again. It's not glamorous, but I got round.
I don't think you saying, "Oh, I'm amazed that you can run that far, Dan." I don't think you realise what your bodies are capable of. Like 10 kilometres is absolutely nothing. Your body could quite easily tomorrow. Your body could run a half marathon.
I mean, okay. It's. I suppose it matters how fast are you running. Like, you must be jogging pretty slow, right? We're not talking big Hercules runs.
I did a 10k last week in 54 minutes, which is a decent time.
Means nothing to me, that.
So per kilometre,
Pretty good.
it was like 5 minutes 30.
5 minutes 30 per kilometre.
Which means if you're going for the 21, if you kept that pace, you'd be under 2 hours.
I'd be sub 2, which is what I mean. Athletes go for like under 90 minutes, but I'll be going for sub 2 hours. But I'm going to do that in the Great North Run, this one that I'm doing in Sheffield soon in March. I'm just going to run with Zoe and have a nice little run because that'll be the first time that our family sort of meet. So we're going to have all the families come down. cheer us over the finish line and get the families together. So, yeah, I'll run with the. I'll run now. What are you laughing at?
Not laughing.
Magical
You feel
moments,
like you're
mate.
laughing.
It's very wholesome. It's
No,
what
but
life's all about.
it's one of them. It's like we needed a reason to bring her parents from Coventry, my parents from Darlow, bring them to Sheffield, mutual territory, and yeah, there you go. But that's the world of Southpaw. Some New Balance shoes. It was reduced from 120 to 60 bar, which was I had to get them.
To steal.
Blows me mind how like expensive that shit gets. Like, trainers are wild.
Yeah, so I mean, you get some of these running trainers like £300 and £400.
Easy.
Like,
I would never spend more than £100 on a pair of shoes.
no,
No, I
Never.
wouldn't, like.
No.
see, because I'm a mug. I'm
Dan's got several pairs.
yeah, no, it just I think it's to do with just sort of where you're from. Like when I was a kid, as I say, it was just you're right. So the amount of times you got battered was directly related to how expensive your shoes were, basically.
What?
So okay, if you had really expensive shoes, you were less likely to get battered.
Okay, yeah.
So if you had really poor like shoes, like Nike Air Jerusalems, like there's this one girl who used to come into school in like sandals.
Ah,
Do
right,
you
okay.
know what
She
I
had a
mean?
rough time of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Jerusalem sandals. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it didn't go down well. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't good. But no, I mean that was an exaggeration. But yeah, I guess just environment and stuff. Like it's still ingrained in me. Like I'm still not okay with. I've still got that council estate sort of mentality. So like all these new trainers have come out. So sort of my business partner wears a pair of something called Bucks on his feet. Bucks. So I know they are a very good pair of running shoes. If you go in a running shop, you won't see many Nikes and Adidas's. You'll see things like Bucks. You'll see things like Asics. You'll see things like Mizuno's, like sort of real proper runners shoes. Like they're not bothered about trendy. They're not bothered about street cred. You won't see these trainers in JD Sports. You get me? But because of like my old mentality of what I remember growing up, I look at them and I'm still like, I'll get battered. Do you know, like, I just can't. So like, I know I'm being stupid.
Yeah.
Because I know like they're probably better than putting a pair of Nikes on your feet.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are for running.
I remember it as like when, particularly at school, like football trainers were a thing. Like people were really into like I think Adidas had like Predators out or something like that at that point, and they were a big deal, and everybody was after them.
Big deal.
But school like normal school shoes and shit like that, like it was like you chavs wore the big chunky Rockport things, and I think if you didn't have a pair of them, like you were a target basically.
Basically, yeah. I remember the first kid I ever seen in a pair of loafers. Ooh, what a day he had.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson coming in. Fucking Billie Jean.
Class.
Moonwalking into school. Fuck you me.
It's like pray.
It was brutal, bless him.
What?
Jesus.
Hang on. So these can't be the ones that Reese has, I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Brooks, not Bucks.
That's what I meant, sorry.
Oh.
I said that wrong. Apologies.
I still
viewers.
don't recognise the name, to be fair. So.
No, but Brooks, are you running man's trainer?
Really?
Apparently, yeah. Again, they're fairly new, I think. Or certainly I haven't heard about them for a long time, but Brooks seem to be what real runners are wearing, you know? Like if you go to one of these running clubs where, where they run around the streets, which is backward in my opinion, but they're all wearing Brooks.
That would have been good to know.
Yeah. I mean, New Balance are in there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah, none of them fitting under your £100 budget like South.
No.
So the budget's £100.
Well, the budget, what I wanted, what I wanted was I wanted a pair of shoes that had been massively reduced.
Right.
And I think I wanted to spend about £100, but they're the ones I got there. Look at them.
Decent sannies,
How
then.
beautiful are them. A bit out there, a bit crazy, but I quite like the brightness of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at this, Johnny. Your lovely screen recording can take in my.
Thanks, man.
Look at that.
Look at that there.
They're not bad though, are they?
No, you'd be unstoppable, mate.
Yeah, waterproof, reduced from 120. There you go.
That's a move.
Fuel cell.
Waterproof trainers, that's a move.
Yeah, well there you
Brilliant
go.
move.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're good. They're good trainers. I mean, I think they're good.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't know, do you? I mean,
No.
I'm going to get him on Friday. I'll take him out for a spin and I'll let you know. But there we go.
I'm always careful about like bright trainers because I used to, particularly when I was at school, like I think my feet grew faster than I did. So like I used to have like massive feet. And then like I can remember I had like a pair of bright orange trainers, like football ones, like I used for 5-a-side or something like that. It was like they looked like fucking boats on me.
La botas.
Like, yeah, I was just like feeling dead self-conscious about it. So now whenever I'm buying trainers, I'm just like black. They just have to be just black. Just
Right, just must not
nothing
stand
too
out.
there. Yeah.
We talked about that with Mike Purdy, didn't we? About the shoe size thing. Like how when it's awful, isn't it? 'Cause when you're a kid, like different things grow at different
Yeah.
paces. And
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, I was, you know, I was pretty much Southpaw's height till I was about 18. Like I was minuscule, but my feet didn't know. Do you know what I mean?
I was minuscule. What a knob.
Nobody told them.
No, I didn't mean, no, sorry, man, I didn't mean
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying, like, compared to now. That's all. Like, obviously
Yeah,
now.
no,
Like
you-
he's like an ant compared
Yeah,
to
you,
me.
Now, yeah.
you've shut up now, like. I'll give you
Shut
that,
up
like,
now, yeah. I was a late bloomer, like.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
to be fair, I had a few late bloomers in school, and they always ended up looking like really like obscurely lanky. Like I think because they ended up just having the growth spurts so late on.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think they were looking at you. To be fair, you got away with it.
yeah, I got away with it.
Yeah.
But no, the shoe thing, it seemed like the feet grew first.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so you're like
I've been there,
5'2"
mate.
and a size 9. Like, oh no.
Yeah, it was though. Like I haven't changed since about 16. I've been
No.
about 7.5, 8. That's where I'm at. Still sat there. Hasn't changed, but as you say, my feet were massive compared to the size of us. It didn't look good.
No. You've also got no mass on you when you're a kid as well, so it's more like
Yeah.
exaggerated. You literally weigh 4 stone wet
Cartoon
through.
character, yeah.
Nah.
That's not good.
No. No.
Not a
But
mass.
you rock up wearing a pair of bright orange trainers, like you're gonna get called out on it.
Well, yeah,
Somebody
but
should have took us to the side.
You
and
just
went,
got to pull it off,
"Don't wear
though,
that,
yeah. You've got to like. I'm going to try and get like a black top and then or like orange shorts and then a black top to match it. You know what I mean? Just like a little bit of matchy.
Bit of CC,
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of colour
yeah.
coordination.
I quite like it, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited. Let's see what happens. New running shoes. There we go. That's about as exciting as my life's getting right now.
Yeah, well, same. Like, it's only been 7 days since we've been here, so all I've got is something did happen, and I want your opinion on this. This isn't like the sign language or anything like that. This is just something that genuinely aggravated me. Like, and I want to know whether I'm in the wrong here, because
You will be like.
I don't know about this one.
Usually is.
I don't know about
Usually
this
the
one.
wrong
This one's like, there's no embarrassment in this. This is just something that happened that is like, I've got a vendetta now, right?
Oh God.
Okay.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
like, So,
So this isn't even over.
no, it's not over. No, I'm cross. I'm going to say, side note, before I start this story, and let's not go into this because that's a whole chapter in itself, I'm currently paying for 2 people's memberships at a very well-known, prominent gym that I go to in Darlington Town Centre,
Nice.
right? Southpaw's also familiar with this gym, but we won't name it.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
Southpaw's, you're not one of the
yeah, thanks for
subscriptions that
paying
you
for
pay
my
for.
membership, mate. You didn't have to do that, like.
No. So,
Nah,
bear in
it's
mind,
not me. It's not me, guys.
other gyms are available and probably around the same price, but I'm forking out over 100 quid to this gym
Oh.
per month, right?
It's a lot of money.
It
That
is,
is a lot of money.
right? I'm not saying I expect special treatment. I just want it to be fair. So, picture the scene. Dan's got up bright and early, right? Dan heads off to this well-known gym. Dan is at the gym a bit earlier than normal today. Normally, Dan rocks up to the gym maybe 7:15, 7:30.
Nice.
Dan's about half an hour, 40 minutes before this now. We're talking like 6:30, right? Early.
Nice.
Right? I get in. It's a normal day. Put my bag in the locker. Go upstairs to the very top floor. There is some artificial grass on the top floor, right? It's a place where you do your abs.
Got you.
Right?
Yeah.
We start with abs. That's how you start. Abs, push-ups, get on with the workout, right? It's good. I walk in there, and I will say every other time in the past when I've been later, it's been fine. Walk in this time, and there is what I can only describe as an old person's class going on, okay? There is a young man that is giving this class, and there are, say, a dozen elder people. Not all, but they're still moving about, but they're elder.
Well,
Now,
in that little top bit, there isn't much space there, like, is there?
so they're congregating in the middle bit, right?
Yeah.
Doing this thing. Now, down the side of this, there is a sled push section where you push the thing.
Okay, yeah.
It's also got artificial grass. So, minding my own business, I pull a mat. I will say, one of the old gentlemen was stood on the mats, so I had to politely ask the old gentleman, would he mind moving while I pulled the mat?
Yeah.
So I pulled the mat over to a corner, right, to mind my own business.
Fucking move out the way, you.
No, I sort of, I'm just saying that thought didn't go through my head, but I didn't. Excuse me, can I just get yeah, thank you. So I pulled the mat over, and I take my coat off and prepare for the hell. And then I see Mr. Staff Member approach me, right? And he says, I've got music on in my ear, so I can't hear nothing. I said, you want mate? And he said, would you move your mat, please? And I looked, and there was nothing going on in this bit where I was. The class was in this other section, and I was like, why? He said, we're doing a class. And I said, but you're over there, and I'm here. And he said, yeah, but we're going to be coming up and down here. So, let me pause time here, right? So, because what happens in these instances is...
So I fucking clenched my fist.
So, yeah, of course, right? It's natural.
There's an
It's
assault case.
human nature. So, yeah, at this moment in time, the red mist sort of comes over me. And what I wanted to do was somewhere between, I was in there's like a box. Like, so this would be the extreme, and this would be the nicest thing I could do.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to do. This end of the scale was say nothing and just knock him clean out. Just simple as that. Just one.
Roundhouse to the face.
Yeah, but then obviously you think, prison, right?
Yeah,
And then you come down to the nicer end of the scale, which would be call his mama whore, right? So that was the nicest I thought I could do.
Oh
right?
my God.
But what I did in the end is I said, okay, mate, no worries. And I quietly picked my stuff up and I walked out, right? Now, I don't take well to these sorts of things. So what a normal person would have done is, I'll just go somewhere else. But I didn't. So what happened then is the vendetta began. So I felt very hot, very aggravated, and very cross, right? So I walked downstairs quietly, said hello to somebody I knew, collected my bag, calmly walked out the building, and looked back as I walked to my car, and I got my band, and I went, and I thought, I'm never coming back here again. And that's the end of that. So I went to my old gym, and that place can go and take a run and jump. Now take out all that nonsense, right? Let's just have a look what happened, right? So I want your opinion. I am paying my membership.
Yeah.
Everybody in there is paying exactly the same membership. So take out the bit where I'm paying for two.
Yeah.
Let's just imagine, for argument's sake, that I was only paying for one membership. So no special treatment. Where I was a little corner, right? I'm not big. I'm 6 foot tall. The mat's maybe 7 foot long, right? A little corner. That's all I wanted. I was pushed right up against the mirror, right out the way of everybody. Why do they have a right over where I want to be? Do you know, like, am I being out of order here? Like, because to me, that's, if I'm just being, like, fair, I feel like the right thing to say was, excuse me, I appreciate you doing a class, and you've got all of that space. You've got 98% of the room, right? I want this 2% square.
Yeah.
I'm not in anyone's way. I want to just do my abs here quietly, and I'm not going to say anything. But instead, for some reason, these people had more right than me. Was it because it was a collection of memberships that added up? They made up 12 memberships, so that trumps one. Like, how are we doing this? Like, where's the democracy? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what's happening? Like I'm genuinely aggravated about it. And did I act out of turn?
I mean, for starters, right? Why the fuck are old people having a fucking workout at 6:30 in the morning?
Mate,
They're
in my
old,
granddad's words, all
retired,
people should be shot. That's what my granddad used to
No,
say.
they can't sleep. Let's give them that.
Yeah, they get up early, innit?
Get up dead early.
But like, I don't
Right,
know.
so...
They
thoughts, John?
don't work during the day. They should do it when it's quiet, like midday. Just saying.
Well,
However,
listen.
that happened. If it was me, I know the social awkward part of us would have kicked in, and I probably, like, even if you got your way right, and he had said, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, you're not taking up much space. The class isn't going to really impact you. You can stay." I would even still, at that point, feel too self-conscious to stay there. I would be like, like, everyone now knows that I'm in the fucking wrong place here, so I'm going to take myself away. There's other floors, isn't there? Could you not just put your mat downstairs?
There are the floors, but it's where you would do your abs.
That-
To do,
that-
to
that
do
is
your
the
abs,
mat,
you've
yeah.
got to lie on
That's
a
the
mat.
ab area.
That's the area, yeah.
Is it not coding? Because in the Pew gym that I've got, there's like a specific room that you go to for the classes. Is it like marked as that or anything? There's,
Funnily enough, there are rooms for classes. Yes, there's
Yeah.
about 3 of them.
There are.
and that isn't one of them.
No, that's
So-
the public gym area.
Oh,
So-
you're in the fucking right there then. Yeah, I'm on your side. Yeah.
So just to clarify, this was a guy who worked for the gym. And he came over midway through, and you were nowhere near there.
You know where I was, Southpaw? You know the sled bit?
Yeah.
That's when you first walk in, you're in the sled bit, right? I was right at the top.
Yeah,
In where
You
normally the
wouldn't,
boxes
you wouldn't
are.
have impeded them. However, they are older people in that sled bit.
Don't give them a free pass because they're old people.
Let's
mate.
take that out.
You know.
Okay,
there's been-
okay. They're not,
because
they're not
that's
old
the
people.
youngest.
They're not old
Yeah.
people. I do think that guy was probably overstepping the mark for what his job actually is. I don't think he needed to have said anything in that regard. However, they probably just need to use the class bit, don't they? I haven't really got much to say on this. I think it's just a little bit of an awkward one, really. Like he's obviously overstepped the mark, but I don't think you should just cancel out that place now.
Listen, I am
Do
prone.
the British thing, write a letter.
I am prone
Yeah,
to...
yeah, you should write a letter, an anonymous letter. You can write an anonymous review.
I am prone to losing my temper, throwing my toys out the pram, and cutting my nose off to spite my face at times.
Was that quite dramatic when you
Never.
walked out and you threw your band? Like, did you feel like a?
I felt empowered, mate.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I felt empowered. Yeah.
Somebody has now found that band and now got free membership.
Well,
If you did knock him out and you went to prison, would you want us to keep the show going?
say that again?
If you did knock the guy out and then got put in prison, would you want me and Southport to just keep doing the show?
Totally. To be
just like
totally.
talking to a blank space.
To be fair, he was pretty jacked, so it probably wouldn't have ended well for me. You know what I mean?
You know what? I know who you're on about. I don't know whether I want to say this.
No, but it's an anonymous gym.
It's an anonymous gym.
You know.
So I can't. I'll tell you after. But there's an interesting fact about that boy.
He's got blonde hair.
Oh,
I know what you're thinking about, and I know the fact.
all right. Okay, so it's not that guy.
It's not him.
I actually know that kid. He used to live across the road from me.
Don't know the
Blonde
fact.
kid.
Blonde kid, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to give him his dues, right? He's
got big titties.
He's big titties. He's on a bulk. He's a young lad.
He
So
is a
he's,
young lad.
he's probably just trying
big
to.
titties.
He's probably just trying to give the class the best option. I'm not trying to defend him because he probably shouldn't have done that. But in the same regard, he's probably just trying to give the best class possible. So in that moment, I think you've massively overreacted.
Okay, maybe I overreacted. What I'm asking you, I'm not asking you about whether I overreacted. I'm asking you about whether I was in the right or the wrong.
No, I don't think you were in the wrong.
Okay.
So you can sleep well tonight, mate.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I just told you what I did on that morning. Since then, I've been back and got my band.
Right.
You said I lost it and got a new band. So, obviously. Because I overreacted, obviously.
Question is, did you pay $5 for a new band?
I did, yeah. I paid for the new, I did, yeah. I paid for a new band, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But I got to pick my colour,
Oh, nice.
you know?
Nice.
Got a black one.
Every
I got a black
cloud.
one, yeah.
Nice.
Because the black one was, I threw a black one, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't, look, I have still got a vendetta, which is, I'm now, okay, so this is where I've drawn, like, I'm not going there to, like, exercise all the time anymore. It's now not my main gym no more.
Yeah.
I've now gone somewhere else and I'll use it as a backup gym.
It's a
So
sort of-
I'm annoyed. And I don't know, look, it's a trivial thing, you know, but you know, like, it's an injustice.
Thing
You know
is
what I
with
mean?
that gym as well, it's not cheap. It is a nice gym, so you do expect these sort of things. You expect to have your own space.
Let me word this another way, right? If there was a sign up that said this area is out of this is out of use between these times because this is going on, of course I'm in the wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Now, Claire, who might be listening, might say, "Well, actually, Dan, that is the case." I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I didn't see no sign, you know, to say this.
Very
And
true.
I would bet that it wasn't.
No.
I would bet that it wasn't. And you say they were doing. I looked to be up there. You need no equipment. This wasn't equipment based. This was jumping about stuff. There's loads of rooms that are empty, and you
Yeah.
know they are.
Yeah.
Why? That's the only bit where where the bars are.
Yeah.
Like it's the only thing. Why do it underneath the bars? So
Frustrations.
anyone wants to use the punch bag, they're out. Anyone wants to do anything with the bars, they're out. Anyone wants to do abs, they're out. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, it just doesn't seem like a smart thing.
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm making a big deal of it, but I live a boring life. Do you know what I mean? I live a boring life. This is what goes on in my world.
Should have challenged him. Should have been like, can you not move your old biddies downstairs? And
Yeah.
they can just move.
And another thing, changing the fucking subject. This is a complete change of subject, but it also aggravates me. We've all seen this, right? And my question is, why? So I'm driving up here today, and on the country road, which is a 60-mile-an-hour road, it's the bit where you always get caught speeding.
Yeah.
Right?
Not always. It happened once.
Yeah. There is, I mean...
Close call a second time, but let's not worry about that.
Yeah, they've nearly caught me a few times too. there's for the life of me, I don't get it. Like, you think how mad it is, right? There is a woman on a horse on the wrong side of the road walking towards me. So picture it, right? This is a 60-mile-an-hour road. There is cars flying and having to stop. She is like trotting down the fucking road on this horse with her helmet on, right? Surrounded by fields. Like, this, right, listen. Everything you can see in your periphery, right?
Yeah.
There is 0.01% of it that you shouldn't be on, which is the bit where the 2-ton metal things are going woof, woof. But you want to ride on the road when there is fields. Why do people ride horses on roads?
It's like we were talking about cyclists last week as well. This is like the exact same thing where cyclists should use the pass. So like horses belong on a field. Put them on the field. Yeah.
And
But
all you can worry about is your fingers in that moment, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you watched last week's episode, anyone,
the finger biting.
we
Oh, yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
a horse who got ran over and bit. What was it? Bit somebody's finger off mid crash.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand why they choose to. I mean, country roads, back lanes, like where they may be crossing from a field to a place that they would ride. I can be okay with that, but a 60-mile-an-hour dual carriageway, and yeah, it's sketchy.
I hate passing horses as well, man. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's
what-
just unpredictable as shit. Like
What mile an hour are you meant to go? Like,
Yeah,
there's no rule book, is there?
No.
I usually try 70 just to read.
Yeah. At what speed will that horse freak out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, again, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe your argument could be the horse is nature, and that was here before the car, and
It's nice when you got
Guess
time.
they
It's
were
nice
on
when
the
you
road
got time
first.
though. If you're not in a rush and you're just driving around on a Saturday and there's a horse and you can slowly go past it, I don't mind that. And you give him a little, there you go. You know what I mean? I don't mind that. I actually don't mind it. But if you're in a rush and there's a horse, you're like, yeah, fuck's sake.
yeah, I mean they were causing chaos on the road. Everybody obviously had to slow down, and
Danger.
wait for a gap, but you can't overtake fast, so your gap has to be big. It's just
Yeah.
carnage.
No, that's a sketchy place to ride a horse.
Maybe I'm out of line. But
No,
it
no, I
seems-
don't think horses on roads.
I don't even get why we need to ride horses these days, man. Like that ain't even that can't be like they can't enjoy it, do they?
I don't know. I
I don't think a horse likes being ridden.
Yeah, if you said to a horse, would you prefer to have a human on your back or not?
Yeah.
They'd probably say not,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
right?
I would imagine so.
But it's like when you take your dog for a walk, innit?
You're not riding your dog, though.
No, but
Yeah.
your dog would rather be out of its usual habitat, having a little walk around. The buzz, they love it.
I don't think that's comparable, really. I don't think that's
Because
comparable.
you're getting your dog some exercise by taking it out of the house.
That would be like saying
your
where-
horse is already outside. Like
That would be like saying to a horse, a different thing is like a horse in its stable or in the field, it prefers to be in the field.
I would
obviously.
imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah. same
Yeah.
as dog. But like when you had your dog, like would it have liked you riding it?
No, I couldn't have
No.
rode it. It broke his legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you got a point there.
Yeah, I thought so. Look, again, trivial, but I'm just saying, it annoyed me.
Yeah,
Horses
we don't
walking. Any other rants you need to get off your chest? Anything else frustrating you?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Right, go on.
Petrol. While we're talking about
Petrol?
Extortionate.
it, not just extortionate. I found out recently, and at the right page 39, that petrol on motorways is more expensive.
Oh
Right.
yeah, a lot more expensive.
Yeah, like that seems like a bit wrong.
What do you mean? Like your travel stop things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just basically write their own check, really.
It's just a captive audience, isn't it?
Yeah, because they know if you've pulled in there, you're desperate for fuel.
Yeah.
Like nobody goes to a motorway petrol station as their local petrol station.
No.
So if you've had to pull in there, you haven't got a choice.
Yeah.
You desperately need a piss or you desperately need petrol, something. So they basically said, we'll stick another 40% on.
No way.
Yeah,
Like-
why can't they just be equal across all boards?
Yeah.
That is frustrations.
So there's something I want to get off my chest. I think that's robbery.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's
That
bang out
is
the line.
absolutely.
It is daylight robbery, that.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And while we're on it, another one. I didn't work this out myself. I read it somewhere. Do you know when you use Just Eat and Deliveroo, which I'm a big fan of, if you buy bits from a shop, let's say you go to Sainsbury's, right? You're going to buy some bread, some peanut butter, some toothpaste, because you need toothpaste after you have peanut butter, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
So you buy them
Twice a
3
day.
things in Sainsbury's, might cost you £6. If you do it on Just Eat, it's going to cost you £12. The items are Just Eat prices, not that price. They're like more expensive. It's the same product, but just to have it. And I will add, they're also putting a delivery charge on top as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Like, who's writing that script? Who's decided that you can just make your own prices?
Yeah, I knew about this because even like with your takeaways and stuff like that, like I know if I bring my Chinese and go and collect, apart from the delivery fee, obviously, I'm gonna get cheaper food than if I went through Just Eat and did it that way.
Yeah.
That said, still just use Just Eat because it's easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all still use it. Like, they
Yeah,
captured
yeah.
us, haven't they?
I don't like ringing the guy because his accent makes us giggle, and I just have to like.
Has he got a stutter too?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
No, he doesn't.
No.
But
What's your guy
that
sound
would
like?
be. I'm not even going to do the impression because I don't want to get cancelled. But
We already are.
yeah, this will if we ever make it big, these old clips will resurface, and we'll be in trouble.
Oh, mate, the things we've said.
There'll be like a purge. You need to like save these clips now if you want them because they'll be gone at some point.
Yeah, we will delete them. Yeah.
It might be gold one day, mightn't there? It might be like, oh my God, Daniel said this.
Yeah, but also it might be like hot fucking lava where Daniel said this.
Yeah, I often think of that. Like, a lot of like the good podcasts that I listen to, swear words are beeped out. Like, they don't talk about sexual things. Like, they don't say the word GUN. They don't say the word. There's loads of they don't say the word RAPE. There's loads of words that don't say. Like, and I think like
None of the ones I watch do that.
no. I mean, these are comedy ones.
Yeah.
But it's just if those words come up, they get cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. So I think that's probably going to happen to us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
One day it could bite us in the ass. Who knows?
Definitely.
We're not there yet.
No, and like obviously the Chinese thing that I do sometimes, or Korean, Asian, basically when I do the voices and stuff.
Yeah.
What was it sound like?
It's the accent from
I,
somewhere.
look, we're trying to.
Don't goad him into it,
Won't do
man.
it
It's
now.
gotta-
Won't do
it
it
happens
now.
when it happens, you know. You
Yeah,
can't,
happens when
you
it
can't
happens.
plan these things.
Like, I don't think that's racist, because like, and this is something else I've had a like discussion with. Like, you know, like certain words you can't say, like racial words,
Yeah.
because they're off the
Like
thingy.
the N word.
Yeah, and others. There's loads of stuff, and like you can't point things out racially. You can't say like which of like anatomy facts about people. You can't say them. But like, I don't mind if somebody says it to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if somebody from a different ethnicity in banter wanted to banter
Like-
that you're this, you're that, like about my race, I wouldn't care. Like, I literally wouldn't care. If it was funny, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but it's because we're white though. Like white people haven't gone through like years of oppression or anything. We've been top dog pretty much the whole
Well, we
time
have,
through
like-
history. Like
We have like, but I don't know.
means
like,
a little bit more to them, I think, than it does to us.
Yeah,
me,
it
like-
does.
It's like, oh, you're white, you listen to Coldplay. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't.
Proper stereotype.
Yeah.
White and Coldplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, loads of things are classed as like racist and stuff. But like, is it really racist? Like, to me, a racist thing is something where you're being hateful towards somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's what qualifies as racism. But like, if somebody says to me, like, you're a white little Willie's white man, like, I'd go, got us like, yeah. Nightmare. Yeah, but I'm a
that's-
good swimmer. you
Well,
know?
that's the boundaries with race, as you were saying, Johnny. Like as you say, we've had it lovely. Like we've never had
Pretty much.
any oppression, no issues, and some of these unfortunate races have had years and years and years of ridicule. Like growing up, like you would know different ethnicities in school, and it wasn't like a Mickey take, but it was just banter for us. But that banter actually for years and years becomes a torment, so you're going to become a little bit more triggered, aren't you? But I guess for us it's just smooth sailing, and maybe we take that for granted a bit too much.
Yeah. I like my school. Like, normally when you're in like a comprehensive school, the ratio between white Caucasian people and different ethnicities is like 99-1. Like, I'm pretty sure in your schools you'll have had no more than half a dozen to a dozen of different cultured kids, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
In my school, it wasn't like that. So in Darlington, we have a big Bangladesh community, right? They're all based around Gladstone Street, you know, that area of town. Mm-hmm. Well, what you tend to find is, for the most part, they all send the kids to the same school. That was my school, right? So we had a huge, like my tutor was 50-50 Caucasian to Bangladeshi people. And the school wasn't 50-50, nowhere near, but there was enough of them to make some noise. So like, if some shit kicked off, like there was too many of them. And like, obviously,
be good.
yeah, like, and obviously these kids have been brought up down the Deans and they went to Branksome, so they weren't fannies. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had, they who are you talking to? Do you know, like they wouldn't be like little sheepish like asylum seekers. they were like selling drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I remember like wars kicking off, like where like something had happened to someone.
Racially infused wars at your school.
Mate. Yeah, mate. And then obviously like when a fight breaks out, at most it's like it isn't the whole school. It's like a gang of lads. But then the way they did it is they all got involved. So the white people would be outnumbered by the Bangladeshis, you know, like, because there was loads. Like, the lasses would be in everything. There'd be chaos. Do you know, like, absolute chaos. And they were proper game. I can remember once as a kid being awful. Like, they used to always play cricket, right? Mm-hmm. If there's anyone from that era, they'll remember this. They played cricket in... Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a nice little decoration we've got there.
Nice.
What do you think of the new green light logo? Any good?
Yeah, it's nice. But yeah, I remember they used to play cricket. Again, that's not a stereotype. They were just genuinely playing cricket in a car park near the town centre, very near where they all lived.
Yeah.
And there was maybe like, I don't know, 18, 20, 22 of them there. And like, I remember being with like a group of people. Now, I admit, I was too much of a fanny, so I wasn't really in it. I was just like set back. Maybe we had like a similar amount of numbers. Maybe we had like slightly less. But... They were like, the people I was with were like bad boys, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, they'd approach, they were minding their own business, these Bangladeshi kids. They were just playing cricket, but they were all lads, and they were all our age, some were older. And I remember like, the group, that, like, I was like stood at the back, we're all drinking cider, you know, it was them days. Uh-huh. But like, the first, like, you know, like, the brave people had gone into the car park and like, started working the mouth and working the ticket. And like, I think at one point someone had grabbed the ball, you know, because the ball had come that way.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's always fun.
My football ball now. And my memory is, what are we doing?
Here we go.
You're having loads of fun, you, mate.
Exciting times over here.
And my memory was...
Bear with.
It's not like I was telling the story or anything.
Yeah, go for goal.
Just keep going.
Yeah, right. So, anyway...
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Trailers, though.
It's only apparently there's only one screen now, so sorry, we're just gonna have to bear with this, guys. I'll take these down.
I'm gonna have to edit this. Imagine.
Was this the worst?
Imagine.
Was this the worst fight you've ever seen, Daniel?
No, but you can see where this ends. Yeah, I mean, I can ask you, how does the story end?
I look. Oh yeah, there's an all-out riot going on.
Yeah,
but you get to just stand out at the side and watch. Yeah, that would be my place in this. Yeah.
I still ran because what happened is I was stood back. I was maybe 100 feet back in a different, because there was two car parks next to each other. I was in one with like the girls, you know, like me, a couple of other lads, and all of the females. But the brave boys had gone ahead, and there was like a commotion going on. we went there to wind them up. Mm-hmm. That's what we went there. Yeah. It's like an ongoing thing. The next thing you know, everyone's coming flying out, and these Bangladeshi lads are chasing after him with a cricket bat in their hand, and they've used the sticks. You know, like they come flying out, and they're
the wickets.
Literally, like, mate, it was like a scene from Zulu. I'm telling you, mate, it was fucking mental, mate. We shot off. I'm telling you, everyone just scattered, and you just seen these like nobody fought. And there was like these like 16-year-old bearded Bangladeshi kids, you're fucking flying after us. You know, everyone just shot off in different directions. So like that was, no one got it, but we ran. Yeah. I still ran. Yeah, you don't mess with the Bangladeshis, like.
No, you don't.
No, mate.
I've seen a couple of bad fights at school. Like, there was one fight with this one year 10 called Matthew Anderson, right? Still pally with Matty, and he actually fought, you know, Bailey from work.
Yeah.
He fought, his brother called James fought Bailey, absolutely twatted him in this boxing match. Anyway, Matthew Anderson was in a fight in year 10, and there was, I think he had it out with 1 year 11. absolutely twatted him to bits, put him in an air ambulance. But five other year 11s came over, and Matty was like known as a hard lad, but he was in year 10, and like, you know how it is in school, like if you're year 10 you don't mess with the year 11, like if you're a year older that's quite a lot in school. You just don't mess with the year
They seem
above.
like much bigger kids at the time, don't they?
Yeah, like they do. They seem massive. A year's a big time in school. Anyway, this Matthew Anderson twatted around, I'd like to say 5 kids, put 5 year 11s on their ass, and he got excluded, got expelled from school, but he was known from that day dot as the hardest lad in Herworth.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a boy.
Statue there.
And like I'm pally with him. That's all I'm saying. But I
Good
think,
when you're the little kid though. You need to surround yourself with the
mate,
bigger boys.
I've always had to be pally with all the big boys, just so they know I'm off limits, you know, all the other ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the worst fight I've ever seen is actually a lass's fight. You know, when they pull hair and like the hair comes out and like they're on the floor and they're just grabbing each other's necks and hairs with the big long nails. Like, I couldn't imagine anything worse than being in a fight.
I think the like lads fight, there's a kind of like a respect there, an understanding that like that sort of shit doesn't play out. Like it's always like fists and grappling kind of thing, but
there's a bit of decorum, isn't
hair
there?
pulling, scratches, shit like that. It just gets horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've seen 2 that stick in my head. One was at school, which was just such a moment of like it just fills me with so much joy. There was this school bully, right? School bully. I say a bully. He was all right. He wasn't he wasn't the nicest. You know what I mean? Funnily enough, I was actually friends with him for a bit, and with me, he was all right, but he did do some pretty mean things to people. And there was this one lad, right? Bless his, like this was huge. Like there was like this fight arranged, right? And it was in the schoolyard, and it was one of them ones that was at 9:15 in the morning, right? Bad time for a fight.
Yeah.
And it was this school bully, this big hard lad. Like he was built, like he just didn't make sense. He was like a freak. We were all like year 10 or year 9 even, but he was like a bloke. You know, like from like year 7, he had
man-child.
he had pecs, 6-pack. You know, he didn't gym. He's just one of them mutants. You know, like he was like 6'2" tall. Like when he takes his top off, he was like he was like ripped to bits, like a great big muscles with veins in it and that. And you're like, like we were boys. Anyway. And there was this other kid, right? He was one of them kids that, like, you know the type, man. Like, his hair didn't get cut very much, and he had like a number 1 all over. But he'd have it 4 months down the line, and you'd have them like pointy sideboards that weren't on your face, you know, like, and like, you know what I mean? When a number 1 all over gets to 6 months down the line.
Yeah, I know.
He played out in his school uniform, like on a night. He just had it, but what he was a lump. He was a big lump, right? But
lots of padding.
Yeah, he was just a nice lad, you know, like just lovely. Always had a snotty nose, you know, one of them, like always sucking his snot up. Just anyway, and
You
then there
paint
was
a picture, man.
yeah, man. Like bless him. He lived across the road from the school, right? That was his thing. He lived opposite the school. He was officially the person who lived closest to the school, right? You could see it wasn't a good house to skive in, put it that way. Anyway, I don't think this lad wanted to fight, but he found himself in a massive circle, right? Like a proper fight thing, like fight school thing, with this I won't call him a bully, but this basically 30-year-old bloke that was in year 9, right? You know, his mum sent him to school with rings on and that. Do you know what I mean? He was just fucking mental. Like, it made no sense. Like, he was smoking when he was in junior school, just that kid.
Picture him, kind of stellar in that.
Yeah, voice broke. And then this, like, squishy lad that was snotty and with his scruffy hair. And it started, right? And before you knew it, it was one of them moments where, you know, like, everyone's got hold of everyone. So now it was, like, I think the bully had, like, threw something, but the soft lad had, like, took it, and then it ended up in this, like, coat grab. So I remember the soft lad had hold of the bully's coat. The bully had hold of his grey school jumper, and like he was pulling it over his head. And then there was like something happened, and then all I remember is the bully was on the floor, and the soft lad was just going whoa-bang, and he literally made like a rugby player, and the lad's head was squashed between his foot and the metal gates. Right, so there was no go back. So there was no woof, it was just boom, boom. Yeah, and like all of these metal gates were just going whoom, and this soft lad was just going whoom, and like he was out. And I still remember this day, mate, like it was horrible to see. there was a trickle of blood came from his eye, and it just started going down his face, and he was like stunned. He was out. Mate, it was awful. And then everyone like stopped it. Do you know what I mean? Because it looked like he died. He didn't die. He got up, but he was all over the place, and he ran. He ran like
no
crying.
way.
And he always had this like he had this like little he had this like this big bully.
He nearly died.
This big bully, right, went about with no one but this one kid. And this one kid was also the smallest kid. So it just, and like, it was like his little sidekick. He was like his little leprechaun. And all you seen, everyone was cheering because it was a proper moment, right? Everyone was cheering, yeah, again, like put a buzz in. Fucking, and this lad, like, he didn't know what the hell was going on. You know, he was still like in hyper. And I just remember over the crowd, I mean, I had to really tippy-toe it because I was your height. I just remember looking across the yard and seeing the bully running like out of the school, and this little leprechaun friend running after him, like you know, like 2 steps for every one. Yeah, and I believe that was the last time that lad ever came to the school.
Holy shit.
I believe that was the end of it.
No way.
It was like a funny time because what happened is both of them kids, funnily enough, the ones that ran off, they went to like a special school in year 10 or 11, you know, like for naughty kids. They both had to go, it was called McMullen House then. We had a school in Darlow where when you got to year 10 and 11, if you were a proper little bastard, you didn't continue in school, you went to McMullen House. That's where, well, some of the kids that went there turned out to be murderers and stuff like that, put it that way. It was for the tapped kids.
Yeah.
Saw that one. The second best one I ever saw was a friend of mine. I've told you about him before, so I will say this. It was Mike Thompson. You know, I told you about him before. He's got the stories for days, right? I didn't know him then. This is how I met him. Like in the town, there was basically there was him. So he's again about Louis' height, but thinner than Louis. Like he's not built. He is now, but he wasn't then. He was just this little skinny Filipino guy. And there was all these like I don't know if they were travellers, but they were like town. They were just big units, all wearing like check shirts and stuff like that. And literally, right, to cut a long story, obviously I was drunk as well, right? But I was in Best Kebab, right, which is Best Kebab is at the bottom of Duke Street. After town, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, chaos, and this fight had began. And there was little Mike Thompson in the middle, right? And he was basically, there was like this triangle of these lads around him, right? And I'm not joking, yeah, like what happened is he basically ninjaed all 3 of them, just 1, 2, 3, like, well, not 1, 2, 3, but the first one was like, there was like a standoff, you know, like where something was going to happen, nothing had happened, people were saying things, but Mike wasn't backing down. Mike was just stood there, like ready, like poised, like kept his eye on him like a ninja. And like, there's two to the side of him, and the main one he was having an argument with, these 2 were his friend, and the one in front of him was the one that was challenging him. And Mike literally had to punch up, you know, like he had to like swing up, and the guy just gone. Yeah. And then there was these other 2 who tried to set about. There was like a carry on, but it ended in Mike basically wiping all 3 of them out. And from that day, I remember just thinking, "Oh my God, who are you?"
Yeah,
and he later became my friend.
Yeah, that's how you decided. I want that guy to be my friend.
Yeah, it was a moment. You know, it was just one of them you never forget seeing it. Like,
I've just never found the interest in fighting.
No,
It's never been like a resolution for me.
We never had an ambulance call at the school. Like
No.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a bad
Actually,
one, that.
the only one time we ever had an ambulance at the school was a kid ran into a fucking lamppost or some shit. Hurt his leg, right? He rang an ambulance for himself. And the fucking ambulance just fucking turned up.
off his mobile. At least he knew what to do.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Bless him.
Never heard the end of that one. Like fucking hell.
No.
Divvy.
I don't get how that's the resolution, right? Fists must fight now. Like it's just never been that resolution for me. I've always been able to talk my way out of a fight. Apart from that recent bat that I faced, but
You didn't get a chance, did you?
no, I didn't get a chance. Just this lad clocks us out of nowhere. But you do realise when you get punched. I don't know whether either of you have ever been punched, but you realise when you get punched, you're not made of like feathers. Like you can take a bat. I mean, my jaw was stiff the next day. I was trying to eat some Palmo, didn't go down very well. But it is a bit of a realisation. I think everybody needs to be punched at least once in their life, just to realise that
I
you're
think
not
I've said that on here before. I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I tried to get you to punch us, but you wouldn't.
No,
I just
you've
know
never,
what-
you've never been punched, Johnny.
No.
I think you're
no.
in your safe zone then. I don't think you'd ever.
I don't think I will get punched.
I don't
unless- I mean, there's a war going on. You never know. I might
You
get.
never know.
Yeah.
I might get punched by some Russian or some shit.
I
but,
think there's a
like,
window of your life where it can happen, and I think I agree. I think you've got out the
past
other end
that,
now.
Yeah.
I think I'll be all right.
Like, what scenario would you be in to actually want to fight someone, Johnny? Like-
I'm shagging so many people's wives, man.
Yeah,
you
like-
have no idea.
what scenario would
You
that
don't
be?
know me, man.
Yeah,
No.
clearly.
Dark horse.
I'm just trying to think.
No,
Like-
you're right. I actually don't think there is a situation where I would.
Like, it'd have to be somebody putting hands on Misha.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it could be house intruders, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know how you'd act in that thing.
You never
just
know what's
fight
going
or
to happen
flight, isn't
then.
it,
Yeah. Just imagine me just greeting them at the top of the stairs with a lightsaber.
That's the one. Oh yes. with your
Dark
onesie
house,
on.
and then they
Yeah.
go, yeah.
Stood at the top, warm.
I'm gonna-
Uzi.
Little
I'm gonna
Yoda
fucking chance.
onesie.
I'm not getting punched, me, man.
lads, let's get out of here. Have you seen him at the top of the stairs? He's off it.
Yeah, we're not doing that house again.
Yeah, you'd be terrified, wouldn't you?
Fucking Johnny Skywalker in there.
Yeah.
You've been in fights, haven't you?
Yeah, not as many, not loads, not that many.
No.
A few, but not many.
The only other fight there's only one other fight that I've been in. It was against bouncers, which is never a good start, really. If you're going to
no.
try and fight
No,
someone,
no.
don't
Quite
fight
unwinnable.
bouncers. But yeah, it was in Manchester, and we were with these 4 lasses, and it was me and my mate Waleed. Acting all big balls, 4 lasses by our side, getting in this club, and they let all 4 lasses in, let me in, and then they stopped at Waleed and were like, nah, you're not allowed in. And like that, at the time, we were twatted. It felt very racial, you know what I mean? It felt like, oh, hang on. Like, he was, where was he from? He was from Africa, but he was a lovely lad, like, very close with him. And then all of a sudden, like, they wouldn't let him in. And then, me being all 5'6" of us, just saw red. He saw red. Like, he could swing bats, so he was hard as fuck. So he knocks one of these bouncers out. Another one starts jumping on him. The other one starts jumping on him. And I just come over and I give one of them a kick. Give him a good kick.
Right in the ankle, right
Yeah,
in
there
the
you go.
Ran over like this.
Yeah. He soon ran off, you know what I mean? After
he?
my kick. No, he didn't run off. But Waleed got up and did them both in. So, we walked away like, fucking hell, we did them. I wouldn't leave.
He knocked 3 bouncers.
He knocked 3 bouncers,
Wow.
mate. But he was he was one of them, like just can see red. Like, I can't, there's that people that can just, that red mist that you're talking about that comes over. I don't have that. Like, I've still got, oh, fuck, this could hurt, this could end bad. Like,
Yeah.
some people just start swinging bats and don't even see the outcome or any bad thing coming from it. And he's one of them. But I think you must have, like, it must be something in our DNA that allows you to have that, to have that, like, fight or flight.
It's just a bad temper. And to be honest, it never serves you well.
No.
Like, win or lose, you always lose, really.
Yeah.
Same. Like, I've for the most part avoided fights. I've kept out the way. I've had, like anyone, the odd one at school, but pretty much my life after that, when I've been in them confrontations, it's never been a fight. It's ended in the first punch both ways. I've won in the first one or lost in the first one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's only been like 3 as an adult, I would say. Maybe 4. There's been 4 times. Like, once I got sparked out, and a couple of times I got the first one in, and it ended.
It's just not. It's not advantageous for
but
anyone, is it?
When you get to older, you hear the stories when you get to our age. Like, I honestly now, at the age of 39, I would always walk away now. I would literally only do it if I was getting. I'd only retaliate if I was literally getting, like, done in. If somebody was swinging at me and I had no choice, then I would. But even then, I'd try and restrain, I think, because you just hear the horror stories. You hear horror stories about banging your head and stuff. Like,
Yeah, if you punch someone wrong and then they die, you're fucked. Like,
yeah. So, nah, man.
like your mate with the metal fence, like, could have easily, like,
Yeah,
could have ruined that kid's
punch,
life. Yeah.
one more punch, brain damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like manslaughter and shit. Like,
Keep away from that. There's no need, man. Like,
Yeah.
how can we, like, preach about, like, about wars and stuff like that and then still have the mindset of fighting people?
No.
That should be used if you have no choice and there is risk to your life or your loved one. That's when it should be used. But apart from that, don't bother.
Yeah.
There's also a thing of nowadays, that many people are doing bloody jiu-jitsu. You don't know who you're messing with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
Like,
a big
you can see
one.
a kid walking down the street and he might look as big as Southpaw and you think, I've got this. But really he's a black belt in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. and then before you know it, he strangled you to death.
Yeah.
Like, so you just have to watch what you're doing now.
It's always terrifying when you see somebody not be terrified when they've started on, and you think, oh, like he actually might know what he's about. You know, when people like overreact or start jumping about or taking the top off, like you think he doesn't have a clue what he's doing in. But like, you know, then people who just stay calm and get in like in a position, you're like, ooh,
Just a big Bruce Lee pose.
yeah, yeah.
I can remember having the kid at school who like he did his karate like the whole way through,
Yeah.
and then like one of the big lads started on him, and he like got him in some kind of chokehold thing where he thought like, oh, I'm gonna knock you here, one move and I'm gonna put you on the floor. The kid just got fucking decked. It was the best thing ever.
Karate Kid
Yeah,
did?
yeah. The
Oh.
Karate Kid ended up on his horse, and I was like, oh man, that's so embarrassing.
Oh.
Spend your whole life doing karate and woomph.
Yeah. Oh no. No, I don't know.
Fight in schools, it's just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Don't do it in schools or as an adult. Just don't
Yeah.
do it.
I
If you
think
don't like someone, call them a daft cunt and then leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
get your words out. That's what I like to get my words out. You know what I mean?
100%.
And walk away.
Yeah.
100%. That's the best way. Do it with wit and words. you know?
I do think it's valuable to at least know that you know how to defend yourself. Like I wish I knew how to throw a punch. I wish I knew
Me
how.
too.
I wish I knew how to dodge one like effectively and then strike again. You know, I think that is valuable. Like you said, jiu-jitsu. I wish I knew a little bit of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ben comes on the podcast. He reached out. He was like, "Oh, I wanna learn boxing." He wants to try and finally be able to defend himself. He's
Who
like,
did?
"What?" Yeah, Ben Bood.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he came. He messaged me. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to start boxing. Do you want to come along?" I was like, "You know what? I actually do. Just so I know, like, all right, this is how I defend myself.
Right.
Hands up. This is how I throw a decent punch. You know what I mean? Not that I'm looking to fight, but just in that scenario, so I knock big balls and of course I defend you, babe. You know what I mean? Like, if anything ever kicked off, like it's valuable to know, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm just at the point now where I actually, if I already knew it, if I'd learned it as a kid, if you could say, right, now you're 39, do you wish you had have had that training and know it or not? I'd say, yeah, I guess why would I not want it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm also still thinking like, okay, if you do know what to do, like you're probably more likely to retaliate with force as opposed to try and calm it down because you're confident. You think, I've got this. Like, and then it opens up that thing of like, what if something happens to somebody? What if you do give somebody a slap and before you know it, the brain damaged and you're spending the rest of your life in prison?
Yeah.
So I'm just terrified. Of hurting.
It is one of them with jiu-jitsu and martial arts. Like
That's a good one.
I heard on Joe Rogan, he was like, "Oh, if everyone could take a pill and have the ability to know how to kill someone, everyone would take that pill because you probably would. Like if you were just all of a sudden you've took this pill, right? This is what I do in a fight." Everyone would be buying that pill, but it takes years and years of jiu-jitsu training or martial arts training to be able to do that. And it's like,
What I like about that jiu-jitsu, that is one that I think if I wasn't such a pussy, I'd be interested in learning because that's more just restraining people. There's very little like striking with that.
I don't know the difference with any of them. Is it?
That's
it's
the one where
more
they
like
roll around on the floor and they
Right.
get people in locks
It's more
and
like
stuff.
grappling and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it basically is in essence. It's that whole like where they're all in like pretzels on each other on the floor and everyone you don't know what's going on and all of a sudden someone comes out and they've got someone's arm and they tap out.
Yeah.
It's that bit of it. I guess that's good. I think because I guess I mean I don't know anything about it, but I guess the idea is you see them in UFC. You know, like one of them will try and strike the other one, but he'll grab his legs and take him to the floor, and then it turns into this squirmy fight where somebody gets choked. I guess that's good because then you can de-escalate any situation. If somebody's coming from you, you professionally know, right, I know how to evade this, I know how to take him to the floor and neutralize him, this person, and keep this person still until he calms down, I guess. But then it's the other thing, if you got him in that position and you really hate him, you know, I just hold this for another 10 seconds and kill him. Do you know, like, you can still, you know what I mean? You could snap somebody, couldn't you?
Guess so.
and if you let go, you've just embarrassed them in front of whoever's in front of them, all the mates. You've embarrassed them, got them on the floor. You know, your mates are there saying, "No, don't get involved," and then you've let go of them to not break their arm or something, and then they get up and they want to go again. So it's like, where's the line? Difficult to know.
Yeah, lads, where do you stand? I spoke to somebody Saturday, about this. right? How do you feel about tipping delivery drivers? Oh, you're one of them, aren't you?
Mad times we live in, Daniel.
Yeah. So you know, like when, like your takeaway comes, you tip, right? Right.
No, not really.
Right.
Do you tip?
He doesn't tip.
No, I don't tip.
Not him there.
No.
Fucking Fagin over there.
Money bags over here.
money-
Tips, so.
I don't tip.
Listen, I'm not talking. I'm giving him loads of money.
Uh-huh.
This poor Lithuanian lad has pedalled from Godfather's, right, on his little bike and brought my Parmo. The least I've spent 25 quid on this Parmesan. I'm all snuggly buggly in the house, you know, like king of the castle. And he's coming there with his fucking work visa and his fucking pedalo. The least I can do is say, there's a couple of quid, mate. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but also, like the discussion that we had before, we're talking Just Eat or somewhere like that you've ordered through, you know, who have also already charged more for each item that you put in your basket or whatever.
Just Eat have.
And yeah,
Not bloody, what's his face?
Godfathers.
Yeah, well, not this Lithuanian lad.
yeah. Well, they pay him, they employ him.
Pound
do
to drop
it.
off.
Well,
Is that what they get, a pound
look,
a
that's not
drop?
my situation. That's his situation.
Right,
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because
so I'm sat with no tippers then. Because the person I
You
was
are,
speaking
mate.
to wasn't a tipper. I like, no, like, I bought my food. Like, he'll be, like, same concept. He'll get his £1.50 off the takeaway for doing that drop off.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that, like, lads. I'm not down with that.
You know what? It's weird. I'll tip a taxi driver or an Uber driver who's friendly,
Right.
but I won't tip. I won't always tip a takeaway. Maybe that's something I need to work on, because actually, you are right. They do work hard, and they're keeping you're being lazy there. You're not going to Godfathers. You're not going to pick it up. There's a reason you haven't gone to get it, and he's providing that. It's still warm, still nice. You know, it's not soggy at that point. He's made sure he's pedalled his ass off to get it there rapid. So maybe I could spare a couple of pounds. Maybe that is something I'll work on. But I do respect that, Daniel. I respect
what I mean?
that you give
I
a little
get it.
bit.
I also but tipping is a thing, right? Like if there was just flat out no tipping,
Yeah.
like and the people just got paid more, wouldn't that be better?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I can't change that world. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm doing is I'm fighting against it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I am changing that world, because if I don't tip, I'm not falling into that accepted
it.
thing.
I
And
get
then
it.
if nobody tipped, the people would be like, well, what the fuck? Why am I doing this? I'm getting fuck all money. Then they'll negotiate higher salaries for themselves.
I always tip in restaurants. Always.
Always.
So why don't I tip in takeaways? Because it's actually cheaper than a restaurant. So that's a good point.
Your argument could be, and this is, again, I'll try and make sure I've got this as well, like, because there is worlds where you're kind of stuck, which is if you haven't got no cash in the house and you've done it on Just Eat or one of the apps, then what you should do if he comes to the door with it, like,
Yeah.
So-
Well, they have you can add like 10%, 20% on when you're
yeah,
on
that's
the
what I was
app.
going to say. Yeah, that add it on there. That's what I was
But
gonna
do they
say.
get that?
I assume so. It says rider tip.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. That's kind of wrong, isn't it? To say
I guess it would be a huge scandal if it wasn't, I suppose.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it?
it'd be-
That would be a thing.
It would
it's all
be.
digitalized, isn't it? So
Yeah.
they're working from this like app themselves.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, there'll just be ching that goes in their bank what they've racked up, basically.
Not Godfathers, though. It's all cash.
Godfather's is cash.
So
So yeah.
you need that 30 quid that you've taken out the bank. You don't want that change anyway, do you?
No, so that's what I'm saying. It
So
always works out well.
that works well for you.
Always, yeah. Well, it works bad sometimes. Listen, I said I'm a tipper, right? Because obviously I often don't ask how much it is from Godfathers. I kind of have a roundabout idea. But I've known me order for 2 people before from Godfathers. And like my money goes up in 20s, right?
Yeah.
So like I've got 20, 40, 60 quid, right? And then like big man will rock up and I'll say, how much does that make? And he'll say £30.50.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why I
but-
don't carry cash, because I hate that shit.
Yeah, and then obviously I've got because I have my own morals. I'm like, you can keep that, mate. And I'm really like, my heart's bleeding. I'm like,
Would
And
you?
No way,
And they
would
got-
you? You wouldn't have them break into a 20 years.
listen, lads, hang on, whoa. You can't tip somebody and ask for change. No,
Yeah,
no,
I
you
think
can't say,
they
listen,
hand
mate,
you the change back, then you
give
hand
us a
over couple of
pound
quid
less.
back.
You ca-
No, I think it's like if they've done that, I'd be like, oh, just give us a 5 change, mate. I think that's nice.
I'm embarrassed. But yeah, they do look at me like, I won't do it because, funnily enough, one of the drivers for Godfathers is Chinese.
Okay.
But we're friends. He's known me since I was a kid.
I thought you were going to say watches the show.
No, I don't know where he's come from. He's like this. He's been the same age, like since I was a child, like since I was about 16. This delivery driver. I'm like, oh, hello. Yeah, I won't do the accent, but he always knows me.
Yeah,
He knows me. He's like
genes.
followed me around the
Some
town, like
genes.
through my life, through the different places I've lived. Oh, you live here now? You know? yeah. He's sound as fuck, like he's bang on.
Nice.
But yeah, he likes coming to my house. Like I think they do it on purpose. I'm sure because they know I'm a tipper.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. I tell you what, it's £30.50 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of like £20.50s and £30.50s.
I don't know. The
Yeah,
sea coming.
yeah, lots of that. There's never any 29 quids. You know, how much is
Yeah.
that, mate? £29.50.
But what you doing if it's £20.50 though, and you've only got 40? You're gonna ask for a tenner back.
You give him
You
a,
just
you
give
give him a
him 40.
£19.50 tip.
And be sad. Be very sad. Yeah. Oftentimes, it's not in 20s. Often you have 10s. But all you can do, when you get Godfathers, right? Let me paint you the picture. You decide at tea time you're going to have a Godfathers. You can't be at your house and decide you want a Godfathers unless you got cash in the house. So if you're going to do Godfathers, you've decided in the day you're going to have a Godfathers and you go to the cash point. Sometimes when you ask for 60 quid in a cash point, it'll give you 3 20s. Sometimes it'll give you 2 20s and 2 10s.
Yeah.
So it's a gamble. But you know where you're standing. You know, like, the first
When you
stage.
get that out the cash machine, you're like, no.
Yeah.
You couldn't just get 50 quid out, could you?
Yeah, I could.
There you go.
I could. But
There's-
often I don't think like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't think
there
like
you
that.
go, mate.
Problem solver.
Everything
Yeah.
in my life is 20 quids. Car wash, 20 quid. Beard guy, 20 quid. So I live in a world of 20 quids. It's always 20 quid. Do you know what I mean?
Is
So I
that
stick
car
to
wash?
20s.
Do they clean the inside for 20 quid?
Yeah, inside and out, 20 quid.
It's not bad.
Well, it's not actually, mate. It's less than that, but that's with the tip.
Yeah.
Same as the beard. It's less than that, but with the tip. Do you know what I mean? I think it's about 19
You're a
quid.
tipper, mate, and I respect it.
Yeah, but
you know,
I have known me, very rare, but I have known me with 40 bar stood at the door, and obviously I'm exaggerating at £20.50. That's never happened. But like I've known me stand there and him say like £24, and me be like, and I obviously like my brain's like it's too much, but I just can't. I
Can't
can't not.
stomach the like
Nah,
him
I'm
sorting
doing-
out the change in front of you
'Cause
and
I
then
think
you
they
give
do
him
it
a
on
bit back.
I think they do it on purpose. I've known me do that before. Like I've seen, like, and like it just takes ages, and I stood at the door with these pounds and these 50s, and you're just like, listen, just keep it, mate. Like,
but that's your awkwardness again, and I wouldn't be paying 40 quid for no Godfathers, mate.
Well, if you're buying for a group of people, it's 40 bar.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but
Depends what you're buying
even
for.
then, 30 for yourself.
When I'm just on my own, I know where I stand. Then, right? If
That just should be a daft 20 quid. That.
Yeah, you just get a Parmo, and I'll maybe throw something else on the side. So it's often 15 quid, 5 a tip done. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's sound.
It's when you've got 2 people and you're trying to be clever and you're adding some shawarma in there and you're adding a garlic bread in there and you just, mate, then you're in uncharted territory. You don't know where you are. Could be £20.50, could be 31. You don't know. Oh my God, the anxiety. Do you know what I mean? You just got to make sure you've got to pray for it. Sometimes it's class though. Sometimes it is class. You'd be stood there with your 2 20s and they'll go 39 quid. Fucking keep that.
Yeah.
No, you worry about that, mate.
Got
Keep
my
that.
money's worth
Yeah,
tonight. haven't I?
I've got you, pal. Have a good night. Ta-ra.
Brutal for you.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. Yeah, but
Tipping. It's not something in this country that's sort of. You go to America, you have to tip. You come here, you don't have. I don't think there's a massive tipping culture really anymore.
I don't know really. Me and all my family tip.
I think in restaurants there is. I always tip in a restaurant,
How
but
do you tip when you're at a card machine thing though?
A lot of them have that like 10%, 20%, 30% thing.
Yeah.
And then you feel awkward as fuck when they hand it to you and they stare, look at you, and it's like, which one are you going to press, mate?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I always just add a fiver on, or add depending on how much I've spent really. If it's 70 quid and it's 10%, I'll pay the 7 quid tip.
I bet you, since money's gone more digitalised, I bet tips are down. I bet there was more tips when there was cash, right?
Yeah.
Surely.
Well,
Oh,
most
yeah.
people, I think I would use it as like a way to get rid of change, to be honest, because I hate that. But yeah, I think with card machines, it's easier for people to just be like, nah.
I remember a time when there was no such thing as a takeaway by card. It was just not possible.
All the takeaways were cash.
100% because there was no app. There was
Well,
nothing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even think online banking existed then. I remember them days. Like if you wanted, I remember my mum, if she wanted to know what was in a bank, she had to go to the cash machine. And she
Yeah.
had to print out a statement, like, and they'd give you like a receipt with like, see if she'd been paid.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah. Go and see.
Madness with the way it's changed. Like,
Yeah, digitalising that.
Yeah, modern times. Love it.
Well, how long have we been running, Southpaw?
about an hour and 15.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
That's nice.
We wouldn't do that there.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Nice
with that.
sweet spot in it.
Yeah, it's a sweet spot. I'm happy.
We didn't even intro the show there, did we? We just kind of kept going.
I think I did a very brief one.
Very
Did
brief
we?
one.
Did we? Oh, right,
But
okay.
we do appreciate everyone who does watch this show. It does mean a lot, and we have got big things coming. New studio, going to be a little bit smaller, but hopefully a little bit more intimate and creative on the visual side of things. So stay tuned for that, guys. It is exciting times for us.
We'll sit closer, Johnny.
Yeah.
We could
Oh,
hold-
well, that'd be intimate.
We could
Yeah.
like hold hands and stuff.
Wow.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it won't look that close on the pod.
No?
No
Camera trickery in that.
camera trickeries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to miss this table.
That is a massive sad thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are we going to do with this table, Southpaw?
Yeah, well, we need to have a discussion about that, man. I've got some ideas.
We can't leave. It won't fit, but we can't lose it.
No, I've got some ideas, and we will discuss that after this pod.
Anyone want to buy any curtains? Get in touch because we've got some.
Yeah, soundproofing curtains.
Lovely plush.
Sell it, Johnny. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very good price, isn't it?
yeah.
That's what it is.
Keep us in the loop. Leave us a comment if you need some soundproofing curtains.
Brilliant. Yeah. That's the end of it, everyone. Thank you for talking to people like us.